Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, more likely than not you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you are innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit. I'll decide if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have the right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are being recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, you can step forward to the podium. April Homer. Afternoon, April. What's your date of birth?
4/11/86.
All right, April. First thing I have is some local charges. I've got operating a motor vehicle without a valid license, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, carrying a concealed weapon, possessing a weapon by a convicted felon. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I take a public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender, Steve.
Judge, all this is based on the Texas history, and I think I might be underselling it a little bit, but I had a little bit of trouble telling the different inputs on the criminal history. So, anyways, between 2003 and 2018, there's 3 misdemeanor thefts, 2 felonies, 2 burglaries, prohibited item in a correctional facility. There is a count of bail jumping, which I certainly want the court to be aware of, and a pair of forgeries.
Okay. And, ma'am, I have an address for you now in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you working these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I do construction.
Okay.
Up on Beta Bay Move.
Okay. Hang on a second. All right. So what I'm going to do on the local charges here is on the misdemeanors, I'll set the bond at $500 each. On the 2 felonies at $5,000. So that's a total of $11,500, and those cases are coming back August 13th. Now, the other thing we have for you is a warrant out of Texas. In that case, you're entitled to have an extradition hearing if you want. The extradition hearing would be to determine if you're the right person and if there really is a warrant for you in Texas.
I don't understand it.
What's that?
I don't understand it. Yeah.
I'm trying to explain it to you. Saying you don't understand English, or you don't understand the words I'm saying?
No, I heard that. I'm telling you, I don't understand it. The paper.
I guess I don't know what you're telling me.
Okay. Nothing, sir.
Okay. What I'm telling you is we've been informed there's a warrant for you from the state of Texas. Okay? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how we deal with that here in Florida is Texas wants to extradite you. They want to bring you back to Texas to deal with whatever the charge in that warrant is. But the way that happens, there's 2 ways it can happen. One, you can have an extradition hearing. The point of an extradition hearing would be to determine if you're the right person and if the state of Texas actually has a warrant for you. The other way is you can waive that right if you wish, and then Texas, in your case, Texas would have to come and get you immediately if you bonded out on your local charges or resolved your local charges. But the locals would have to come first. So do you want us to arrange an extradition hearing for you, Are you gonna waive that right so that when the time comes, Texas would only have 15 days to come and get you?
For that, I just made it.
All right. All right, so the public defender's gonna come see you.
This, I don't wanna sign it, this one.
So you don't wanna sign it?
This one didn't come in?
Yes.
I know, no, this one's here, I don't wanna.
So you don't wanna waive it?
Okay, well, you'll be here on the local charges then. I'm gonna hold you without bond on the Texas warrant, so now you can't bond out. You'll be back in court on,
Yeah, I understand. I can go back now? I understand. Okay, yeah, come on. I thought, okay. Yeah. No, yeah.
It's right here.
Okay, so this one, for
Texas.
here,
Yes.
for here,
Yes.
for here, for two.
Yes.
That's what I want to do.
That waives, they're gonna be here in 15 days to get you, or make arrangements for you.
I don't know what you saying. So this for
Okay,
15 days, they're gonna come get me.
Debbie, I've had enough. She
So
can
if I
sit
go
down.
stand-
I don't care if she waives or not,
Yeah,
I'm done.
yeah.
Sit.
Yeah, well, I think.
Qualunda Shalar, afternoon, ma'am, what's your date of birth?
December 27th, 1990.
Ma'am, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. It's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD state.
None.
And ma'am, I have an address for you on Old Shady Hills Road. Is that where you live?
No, it's 88 Constitution Drive.
Oh, okay. How long have you been there?
For about 6 years now.
All right. Is that where Craig lives as well?
Yes.
Are you working these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I work at Popeyes.
I'm going to set your bond at $100. However, condition of the bond is that while this charge is pending, you'll have no contact with Craig. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. Don't contact him through social media. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine getting a message to him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that Craig cannot drop these charges. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who's handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important you not have contact because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as the home on Constitution goes, as long as Craig stays there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay until we get this resolved. You may go by the house one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They would arrange a time to meet you there so you can get your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on August 14th. It's very, very important that you reach out to the public defender once you get out of jail, all right?
All right, okay.
Thank you. Anthony Audino. Afternoon, Anthony. Date of birth?
4/24/1980.
Anthony, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $1,070. You have $1,070 in cash, Anthony?
No, sir, I do not.
Are you
The
working these
reason I
days?
haven't.
Hang on a sec. Are you working these days?
Yes, I do. My boss is retiring though. I've actually been in like lieu of relocation. I had emergency herniation surgery, and while I was in Pasco, I went to Seminole for a physical. So now I'm actually listed as physically able to do some work, but only like 20 pounds limit.
Okay,
And I've kept in contact with, I even had Pasco County come out to my address. It's been the same address for the past, 15 years. I've been
Okay.
working for the same person. I actually come
Okay.
and fix the
okay.
facilities
So Anthony, is there
right here.
any amount of money you could get to the jail if it meant getting out of jail today? Any amount at all?
If I get out of here, I can. If I'm in here, I can't. That's what I was trying to say. I spent 102 days in here, and I've already lost 2 pieces of property, including a boat and some other things that would have been.
What were you in
able
jail
to-
for?
They actually, I had an altercation with a neighbor. We were going through an injunction fight,
Okay,
and I got picked up on possession. But
okay.
I do it
Is
appeal.
that case done?
yes, sir, it is.
Okay. So, and that's just the last whatever 100, so just recently you finished that time?
Yes, sir. It was 102 days, and I transferred here.
Okay, so once your sentence was done, they brought you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. In that case, I'll find you're not in contempt for your failure to pay child support. You'll be released today. But job number 1, Anthony, is you got to get to the child support enforcement folks and figure out what to do going forward. If you do nothing, they're going to repeat this process and you're going to be arrested again, okay?
Yes, sir. I'll have my daughter come with me to the Brooksville courthouse and try to transfer money with her.
Whatever you got to do. Thank you, Anthony.
Yes.
Jason Austin? Afternoon, Jason, date of birth?
10/24/86.
Jason, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He thinks you failed to appear in his court on introduction to contraband and possession of a controlled substance. Did you have an attorney on those cases, Jason?
Yes.
Was it a public defender or a private lawyer?
Public defender.
I'll continue the appointment of the public defender. Judge Merritt has ordered you held without bond. I can't change that. We'll have you back in court in front of him on July 19th, which is tomorrow, Friday. So you'll see your PD in court tomorrow morning, all right?
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Yep. Nigel Jackson. Afternoon, Nigel, date of birth?
February 14, 2001.
Nigel, the charge is robbery by sudden snatching. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD, Steve.
Judge, this is one of those interesting histories that starts with an FTA and ends with a PTI, all in the same case last year. In 2023.
And that's it?
That's it.
All right. And Nigel, I have an address for you on Key Largo Road in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
About 2 years now.
All right, are you working these days?
Yes, I'm in the midst of working for a family company. I'm a delivery driver.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Ms. Camacho Gonzalez while this charge is pending. I'm going to have you back in court on August 13th. Very, very important in your case that you reach out to the public defender if you get out, all right?
Yeah.
Lauren Richardson,
I'm sorry, what was the date, Judge? I apologize.
14th.
Thank you.
Afternoon, sir, date of birth?
10/25/60.
Sir, this is charges fleeing to elude. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
The public defender.
I'll point to PD, Steve.
Judge, there's 3 prior trips to the Department of Corrections. Most of this is drug-related, stretching back from 97 all the way through 2003. Interestingly, he was PTI'd in Hillsborough County within the last couple years, even with all of the rest of that.
Okay.
And this was also I would point out that this is also a fleeing case. I would ask the court for a high bond.
All right. Mr. Richardson, I have an address for you in Dade City. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
All my life.
All right. You working these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Part-time at Wilfley Coochie Electric Company.
Okay. Set your bond at $5,000. I'll have you back in court on August 13th. If you get out, you should go see the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Juan Carlos Romero. Afternoon, sir. Date of birth.
10/09/2005.
Have two charges today. We have traveling to meet a minor and unlawful use of two-way communication device. There's probable cause for the charges. As to the charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
The public defender.
I'll point to PD, Steve.
None.
And so I have an address for you. I don't have an address for you. Stand anywhere in a particular one?
Recently left my dad's house and kind of couch surfing.
Okay. Are you working at all?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Paving, construction.
Okay. Is it full-time work?
Yes, sir.
On the traveling charge, we set the bond at $25,000. On the unlawful communication device, $5,000. That's a total of $30,000. Condition of the bond is that while you're on bond, you'll have no contact with any human being under the age of 18, and you'll be subject to GPS monitoring at your expense. You'll be back in court August 13th. If you're able to get out, you should go see the public defender immediately, okay?
What is my bond again?
$30,000.
30.
Yep. Stephen Whitaker.
That's right.
Date of birth.
11/1/81.
All right, Stephen, I got a local charge of driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I would like the public defender, Your Honor.
I'll point to PD, Steve.
Judge, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, I just saw the VOP, so I
Yeah.
didn't.
I just want to know what this other history is like.
You have to give me a minute.
Yeah.
I just saw that, I didn't see that there was a local, I just see the VOP.
Yeah.
What was it, driving on a suspended?
Yeah,
Sorry about that, Judge.
that's,
Let's see, you got a fail to appear, out of 2009, paraphernalia out of 2010. Let's see if I
What are you talking about? I've never lived here before.
that doesn't mean we don't know where you were and what you were doing where you were.
No, okay. I'm just,
2011 marijuana,
Okay. And Stephen, I have an address for you on Alston Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
I do not live in Alston anymore. I live in Addison Street. I'm on probation right now for
Okay,
DUI.
yeah, we're
in
getting
Pinellas
to
County.
that. We're getting to that.
that's right now.
So what's your address, your correct address?
11087 Addison Street,
Okay.
Spring Hill, Florida, and that's 34609.
All right. And then as you just said, the other thing I have here is a probable cause arrest for the violation of the probation that you're on in Pinellas County. So here's how this is going to work for you. Stephen, the bond on the driving on a suspended, I'm going to leave it to $500. That case is coming back to court on August 14th. The bond on the VOP is no bond. So what will happen is that your public defender is going to come see you and talk about how they might best work this out so that you can work out this case and then get to Pinellas to work out that case. If you post the bond on your local case, you're going to get sent to Pinellas and you'll be down there for the VOP first. If you stay here, we'll get you resolved here, I suspect, and then you can go to Pinellas, all right?
Do you know how long that's going to take, Ron? The reason I'm asking is I have a dog in my house right now I have no one here. I don't have a piece of family here or anyone I know. I'm from New York, and I got stuck here after my brother died, getting hit with that DUI. So I have a dog sitting in my house with no one to take. He will die.
Well, where I would start with you is calling a bondsman.
What?
Okay, and see if they can help you out, because that's somebody that wants to help people who are in jail, and I would start there. But that's the best I can offer you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Joe.